Boom! And like that, we're live once again.
Greetings.
Welcome back to the podcast, guys. I'm Nadja with Mike once again with you, and today we are talking wrestling because we are huge wrestling fans. We've been brought up on it. I've kind of done it professionally, I suppose you want to say, like on the indies about 10 years ago.
Semi.
Something like that, yeah, but I know what I'm doing roughly. I know how to bump, I know how to run ropes, I know how a match gets put together, I know exactly how things work backstage. So, yeah, I enjoy watching wrestling, and when it goes crap, I get upset, the same as a lot of other people. I'll tell you what, how about we start off, what first drew you into wrestling?
Like most people of the 80s, especially here in the UK, it was World of Sport.
Yeah, definitely.
Your Big Daddies, your Giant Haystack, your Mick McManus, Rollerboy Rocco, Steve Regal, or William Regal, I think he was in.
Yeah, I think it was Willie Regal, yeah.
Yeah, Brian Glover, as we said earlier.
Yeah.
That's the fella who was the guy who was in charge of the prison planet in Alien 3, for those who don't know.
Yeah, he had a thick Yorkshire accent. Proper Yorkshireman.
He's also in American Werewolf in London.
That's it, he's playing chess with Rick Mel.
Yeah, he tells the bad joke. Pat the Bomber Roach, who we mentioned the other day as well.
Pat Roach, yeah.
Obviously, every now and then, if you got lucky and you watched it, I remember catching a few episodes where non-Brits would be in it. Like there was an episode, as I say, with Bret Hart
Oh, right.
and Owen Hart in
Didn't know that.
wrestling the British style, or British strong style, as it's now called.
Right.
And then that fell off the TV as WWF at the time gained popularity.
Yeah, I noticed that, because I remember when I was little, I used to enjoy watching the World of Sport. It was on Saturdays, wasn't it? I remember going to see it a few times as well, and one day it just wasn't on. It was like, oh, this is strange, maybe it'd be on next week. No. And then months and months went by, and then all of a sudden, yeah, WWE started popping up everywhere. And back then it was like, what was it, like prime time and
Saturday night main event, really.
It was Saturday night's main event, prime time, which was, I think, like a show, almost like a SmackDown to its Raw
Sort of, maybe.
type thing. But that was when you had the classics, like, let's just call it some of the best wrestlers that there ever was. I mean, you had Rowdy Roddy Piper, Mr. Perfect,
Million Dollar Man, Rick Rude. Obviously, you had your Ultimate Warrior, your Hogans, your Brutus the Barber Beefcakes,
Greg the Hammer Valentine,
Earthquake, Typhoon. Well, Tugboat. Then he became Typhoon. I think he got over better as Typhoon.
Then sadly the Shockmaster.
Oh dear me, yeah.
Which never got over. Yeah, and John Tenter, wasn't it? Earthquake's real name, was actually part of the Oddities.
Yeah, he was the one in the mask, wasn't he?
Yeah, who carried the Cartman doll.
Yeah.
Which
weirdly
was, I think they done a wrong one by covering his face.
I think maybe there was a case where we don't have one go, oh, it's Earthquake.
Oh no, it's a shame what happened to him.
So with the 90s though, with a lot of the 90s, and we will come to that, it was Vince McMahon just throwing, Vince McMahon, Vince Russo just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks.
And Bruce Pritchard
as well.
Brother Love!
Him, yeah. Just throwing stuff at the wall and see what worked.
Who technically was the first manager of The Undertaker.
Yeah, until he handed it over to Paul Bearer.
Yeah.
But then, so after, obviously, WWE started kicking in, watching more of that. First WWF event I remember watching was when I lived in Germany, or what was West Germany at the time. Yes, I used to live in a country that no longer exists. It merged, obviously, when the Berlin Wall fell. Was SummerSlam 89. Someone had a 3-hour VHS tape on it.
Okay.
That was first match, tag match. As I said to you earlier, was Brainbusters, Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson.
Versus the Art Foundation, wasn't it?
Versus the Art Foundation, yeah. Non-title match. I think the Brainbusters lost on a DQ. And then the other memorable match in it is Rick Rude, Ultimate Warrior.
Classic.
Excuse me, throat's going. For the IC title.
Yeah, Rick Rude having one of the greatest managers there ever was, the late great Bobby Heenan.
And then the main event, Hulk Hogan, Brutus Barber Beefcake versus Macho Man, or Macho King, I think it was.
Yeah, it was the Macho King then,
Macho
yeah.
King, Randy Savage, and
Queen
Zeus
Sherry.
with Queen Sherry. Now, Zeus was an actor some of you may recognise. He's been in Friday. He's a big buff.
Yeah, he played
Black
Debo.
American dude.
Debo.
He plays the president in Fifth Element quite brilliantly, actually.
Yeah, he wasn't a bad actor.
He's a good actor. He's a great actor. But yeah, he wasn't a professional wrestler. He kind of just went and growled at the thing a lot.
This was, he even admitted that in interviews. He said, I didn't know what I was doing. They just told me to shout and...
Yeah, actor range.
Yeah.
But that was the main event. And yeah, it's not a great pay-per-view, but it's all right.
Well, do you know why Hogan made? Because that was from the result from the
No
movie.
Holds Barred, wasn't it?
No Holds Barred. Do you know
movie.
why? That
Yeah.
was right. Because Hogan thought, I think, that he wanted to try and conquer Hollywood, right? And he thought, I'm like, because obviously I'm huge in WWF or back then, that I'll be huge in Hollywood. And sadly, because he was trying to match Jesse Ventura, who at that point had been in 2 Arnie movies. Running Man and Predator.
Yeah, Running Man and Predator.
So...
And then he was going to be... He turns up later. Obviously, in the 90s, he turns up... No speaking part, but random cameo in Demolition Man.
That's it, yep. So, yeah, Ventura has obviously... He's had a pretty good... Well, we'll say life. He's done well for himself, hasn't he, former governor?
But then obviously, as I got a bit older, 90s, grunge era, watching, obviously, Sky, just flicking through the channels as you do, came across Bravo, the old Bravo channel.
Yep.
And early ECW.
Oh,
The Tommy Dreamer Raven thing was going on, mind you, that was going on for 2 years. That was a 2-year-long storyline. You've got Sandman just caning people left, right, and centre. You've got Sabu, RVD, before the brilliant RVD Jerry Lynn series, but
that was...
But that's got me into it, and obviously the insanity.
FBI, the FBI with little Guido and...
Well, I think the Dudleys and the gangsters were feuding at that point, and you can imagine how mad that was.
Oh, those were some good matches.
Because New Jack be scary, y'all. But it was just the insanity of it. And that just drew me straight in. And every now and then, late night ITV, you'd catch like an episode of WCW.
Yeah, it wasn't that big over here, WCW, was it? And it was only... We didn't get any during the Monday Night Wars. We didn't get Nitro. We didn't get Thunder.
We got the WWE stuff.
We had the WWE stuff on Sky, yeah. But no WCW. So all the NWO stuff, we didn't really know about over here.
Just had tape trading and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We were getting.
So it did make it awkward when obviously people were talking about the Monday Night Wars, and it's like, what?
Well, that's the thing. So I caught an old episode of WCW, or what was NWA WCW back in the day. An old episode. And there in the ring is Mean Mark Callis. That name may mean a few things to you. May mean something to quite a few people. Fighting some jobber. Some person, I can't remember the guy's name. Wrestling some jobber. Hits his big elbow off the... walks the ropes and hits the big elbow. I probably had a name. I honestly can't remember what the finishing name was. But it was his big elbow off the top rope that he walked along. And then... But I saw that before I saw The Undertaker. And then I went, hang on a minute. And that's when kayfabe started to crumble for me. And also, well, the fact that he was Cactus Jack in WCW and Cactus Jack in ECW, that was fine. But then obviously Mankind turns up. Hang on a minute.
But sadly, that was Vince, because if you watch that latest episode of Dark Side of the Ring, what had
What they talk about Mick?
They're talking about the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
And Mick talks about when he got brought into WWE, because it was down to Austin, right? But Vince obviously saw what Mick did, his style of wrestling, like landing the elbow off the apron onto the concrete and all that style. And Mick was Vinnie Mac was like, well, I can't use him. And Stone Cold was like, well, give him a chance. And he was like, all right, but we're going to cover his face. So that's why he had to wear that mask.
Well, that mask was going to be on Undertaker.
Yeah,
because if you see the early drawings of the
socket,
if you see, well, no, before the orbital socket. So if you see the early drawings of the Undertaker,
right,
it has that mask on it.
Really?
Yeah, it has the
I
mask.
have to find that.
I think
it's going to be
I
interesting.
could be wrong. I don't. Think,
but as far as I knew, it was literally they wanted to cover up Mick's face with a very, by Mick's own admission, a very uncomfortable mask.
That thing would have stank by the end of it.
And you're smelling it as well all the time.
Obviously after WCW, WWF, ECW then introduced us into Lucha Libre stuff because obviously they had Psychosis, Rey Mysterio there, and I think Juventud turned up in a mask a couple of times. So they had those three going, and then they had Japanese wrestlers turn up.
Yeah.
And then that pushed us towards New Japan and All Japan, and
that's Heyman for you, the mad scientist. That's why Mick calls him the mad scientist.
Yeah.
You know? What if I put this with this? Would it work? Yes.
And then obviously, just more and more wrestling. But I prefer the technical side of it. I prefer the technical wrestlers. Don't get me wrong, big flashy moves are great. But I do like seeing the intricacies and the move and the hold and the counter hold. And, one of my best matches, and I will mention his name, is Benoit Angle, the Ultimate Submission match.
I think a lot of people will say for his in-ring ability, you could never fault him.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, no?
Yeah, what he did, unforgivable. But you look at his body of work, and he's one of the best in-ring performers. And as I say, there's the one he had with
Jericho.
Well, no, Regal.
Willie Regal.
At the Brian Pillman Memorial, or Brian Pillman Classic, or whatever it was, where and they just told this story through the ring, move. Because, as most people know, Benoit based his style off of Dynamite Kid, who Regal wrestled.
Yeah.
Regal knows how that style works.
Yeah.
So it was just, and so they just wrestled and moved and hold, and it's such good to watch. Anyone who's getting into it, it's on YouTube. Find it and just watch it. Ignore the commentary. It's Michael Hayes and someone. It's but watch the match. You can turn the commentary off, but watch the match and just watch what they do and how they tell the story. And it's so good.
It is good.
Same with the Ultimate Submission match. To be fair.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it is nice when you do see two wrestlers and they do tell a good story through a match. I mean, WrestleMania 10, Brett versus Owen.
Oh, so that was so good. Did you see? We'll jump on to very quickly AEW. You see the FTR guys?
No.
They faced each other in I think it was in the Owen Memorial thing.
Okay.
And they recreated that WrestleMania 10 match.
Really?
Yeah, because I saw someone put it up on one side of the screen and the other one on the other side of the screen. It's literally move for move. And it's so good when people can do that. And it's really well done.
It still stands up today, does it?
Absolutely. Literally move for move. And it's like, yes.
I mean, late great Owen Hart. I mean, he got taken away before his time because
I was watching that event.
Sadly,
I paid for that event.
Wow.
Obviously, not knowing what was going to happen.
No, yeah, and to be honest, they should have ended it.
No, because it went to a break, came back, and there's JR by himself at the commentary desk, which is weird to start off with.
And he don't know what to say.
And he's like trying to fill the holes. He's trying to tell you. Well, there's been a horrible incident here. Blue Blazer, who most of you know, Iron Heart. He was performing under the name of the Blue Blazer. Has had a horrible accident in the ring. That's where King is at the moment, trying to help with that. And I'm like, what?
This is it, isn't it? And the next thing, he comes back and he's like, I'm sorry, but I've got to deliver the bad news.
I don't think that was delivered on the air. What I do remember is obviously it goes to another break, comes back.
I think it's after that break.
And then the next match comes on, and you can see, I think it was Road Dogg at one point, just tears falling down his face. And you're like,
none of them should have wrestled.
Something bad has happened here.
Yeah. Well, from what I can gather, from what footage I've seen, right, even JR himself has said it, he didn't know what was going on, right? It was in the break. Yeah, he didn't know what was going on. And he's on his headset, because they talked to the gorilla position. And he's like, look, what's going on? Give me an update. They said, oh, Owen Hart's dead. And you're back in 3, 2. And he's like, what? And then
what do I do with that?
Come back. He's like, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I've got the sad news of saying that Owen Hart has
'cause
died.
obviously around about the same time, Sting was coming down on a sort of
In
thing
WCW.
from the rafters.
Yeah, doing the crow gimmick.
And as obviously that happened, and then he's immediately checking his gear. He's checking his gear and he's like, right, is this going to fucking hold?
I don't get why Owen wanted to. I mean, I know he tried it a couple of times and it failed. It looked horrible.
Because his cape would get caught up and stuff.
He should have just run to the ring.
You know what it was? I'm not blaming Shawn Michaels at all, but I think because Shawn Michaels came in on that big zip line.
At WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think a few people like,
13?
I can't remember, but a few people like, that's a brilliant thing, I want to do that. And then maybe Owen ran the idea past Vince, because what if I came in on a zip line? Because I'm meant to be a superhero. What if I came on a zip line? It's just something to run past Vince, which sometimes Vince will be like, nah. In fact, most of the time Vince was probably like, nah. But this one time he's like, actually, yes, that works with the character, let's do it. And it just went wrong.
Sadly, yeah. Unfortunately. I mean, let's just say, if he'd have
I
not
understand
passed
why
away...
his missus doesn't want him in, will continuously say no to Owen being inducted in the Hall of Fame.
He deserves it.
He does deserve it. Everyone says it. Even Brett says, look, it's not the Hall of Fame if you don't have Owen Hart in there.
Yeah.
But it's don't...
And the person she's pissed at isn't there anymore.
No, there is that.
By the way, I hate the word triggered. I prefer to use the word pissed off, upset, fucked off. You know, any of the other words apart from that one.
Yeah, she's got a legitimate gripe end of the day.
Yeah. You can moan about it all you want in the comments, but I don't give a fuck. Triggered is not a fucking legitimate word. Retard is. But anyway, yeah. Getting back to it, I think if Owen Hart hadn't have passed away, the level of wrestlers that came in shortly after that he could have wrestled.
Oh, yeah. You had, obviously, we've just mentioned Benoit, but you also obviously had the other radicals.
The Dean
Malenko, Perry Saturn, Eddie Guerrero. God. And then Ray turns up.
He
would have had good matches.
Kurt Angle.
I would love to have seen Owen Hart, Kurt Angle.
That would have been, poetry in motion, I think, of wrestling.
That would have been gorgeous. And if Goldberg had kicked freaking Bret Hart clean in the head.
Oh, gave him that concussion, yeah.
We would have had, obviously, Angle, Bret. That probably would have happened. Even Angle says that is the one match he wishes he could have done.
That would have been epic.
Which, oh my word, I can just imagine the counters and the whole thing.
That would have been wrestling. That would have... Yeah, no, there would have been no...
Word to McMahon, be fair, wrestling.
Exactly, there would have been no high flying.
Which is why I'm surprised he allowed the Ultimate Submission match to go, because, going back to that, because even the fans were against that to begin with. If you go back and watch that match, you probably won't find it on any of the stuff that's been released on Netflix. But it'll be on YouTube somewhere. But if you go back and watch it, the fans, for the first 5-10 minutes, I go, boring, because they're not understanding what's happening.
Yeah.
But if you're a wrestling fan, if you love your technical wrestling, you sat there going, this is brilliant.
Well, yeah, I remember doing that.
And then move, and then it builds, and by the end of it, the crowd are loving it.
What about when the two Chrissies went? When Benoit and versus Jericho?
Oh, yeah.
That was another banger.
Because they're both Dungeon Hart.
Exactly. And it was literally hold counter. It really, really was a good match. You know, and when you look back at a lot of the classic matches, it's like a lot of them now can't be duplicated in any way. I'm sorry, but I watch WWE now, and to me, WWE, all they've done now, I can't stand with on Raw and SmackDown the drone shots. I'm sorry,
they're not a bad idea.
Do one at the beginning, yes, as it's opening up. But don't do it after every match as a filler, because that's all they seem to do now is filler. Whilst the wrestler's coming down to the ring, they're showing an advert for T-shirts. And then the wrestler gets in the ring. The poor wrestler is stuck in that ring for a good 3 to 5 minutes while either an interview is going on or they're showing some kind of promo which isn't anything to do with that match.
No, that is annoying.
You know? And it's like, they'll have a wrestler in the ring, and then standing up on the stage in the crowd, they'll do an interview with somebody else.
Yeah.
It's like,
well,
what?
that's not too bad. That sometimes reminds me. Do you remember when they go to Todd? I can't.
Pettingale.
Todd Pettingale. He'd be up in the crowd.
Yes, but that was not whilst the wrestler was waiting for his opponent to get in the ring.
No, but sometimes it was. Sometimes it was. Or sometimes it was before the first guy came in. Oh, I'm here in the middle of the crowd.
That's right, yeah, because at one point I remember him standing there with, who was the president at the time?
Clinton, Bush,
Clinton. No, it's Clinton. Yeah, Clinton was there watching. And he was up, like, with the president. And, yeah, so he got a little interview with the president. Then he went back to, I think that was at the end of a match, but then he went to another one. You know, so for that's fine. After the match, don't do it once a wrestler has gone to the ring, and then that poor sod has got to stand in there for 5-6 minutes until his opponent even turns. It just looks crap.
They've only just got onto Netflix, the streaming site. There needs to be some fine tuning.
Well, what we'll do, we'll talk a little bit more about the classics, like the 90s era, if you want, first, and then we'll move forward to present day Netflix Raw. SmackDown, because I want to talk. I mean, we was mentioning it earlier. I want to talk about this Monday's past Raw, and everything that happened. So we'll get to Raw, yeah. So what we'll do, we'll carry on with just some of our most favourite matches.
Well, obviously, any of the Jerry Lynn, Rob Van Dam stuff. Living Dangerously 99. Most of their matches through the 99. So Living Dangerously, Guilty as Charged. Hardcore.
All ECW, yeah.
December to Remember. All ECW, but their matches were so good.
So you're forgetting one match which is really, really good. Tajiri, Super Crazy, and Lil Guido.
The
three-way dance.
Three-way dance. So it was an elimination. So you'd actually get 2 pins, which I think they need to bring in for 3-way dances and 4-way matches.
I think that's, WWE, that would be a good idea.
It'd be a bit more interesting. They could tell more stories off of that as well. So you'd have, he pinned him, meaning he doesn't get a title shot or he doesn't win the title.
Yeah.
Therefore, he hates the person who pinned him, and then there's so many different ways they could go with that. Well,
it's better than a lot of the storylines they've got now, which is like, I'm upset because he eliminated me from the Royal Rumble. That's the whole point of the Rumble. Yeah. I'm sorry, but to do a storyline off of that is dumb.
Didn't CM Punk say that as well? Nothing personal, but that's the whole point.
Yeah.
It's every man for himself.
Yes.
He said it to Roman Reigns. You're annoyed at me because I eliminated you from the Rumble. I'm sorry, I know you're only here part-time, but that's how the Rumble works.
Exactly, yeah. It's, I mean, a few things do need to change, I think.
But anyway, 90 stuff. Back to 90 stuff. Steering it back.
Yeah. Let's talk about Yoko. A bit of Yokozuna.
They let him... See, he had the same problem that early Big Show did. They let him get too big.
I think
they let him get too big. Someone, they needed to, possibly hard to talk to, but someone said, look, don't let yourself get too big. I mean, hindsight's lovely and all, but don't let yourself get too big because it's going to limit what you're doing, because what you're doing now is brilliant. People are like, oh my God, he's that big.
He's as quick as a cat.
Yeah, he's throwing his own savate kicks, or super kicks nowadays, but savate kicks.
He was so
quick. Belly was unreal. You know, and he was just so fast. It was so good. And that's what Big Show had when he was in the Giant in WCW, and when he first turned up at WWE as the Big Show. He was slimmed down. I think he was about 450.
Yeah,
425, 450 when he rocked up into WWF. He was slim for Big Show.
Yeah,
but he was moving around. I mean, do you remember him kipping up?
I remember that. I also remember him doing a drop kick.
Yeah, I think it was Benoit. Knocked Benoit clean out the ring. Which is just... He didn't do it often, but when he did, he goes, you're looking at it going, someone that size shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
That's bringing it slightly back to the modern days, that's what made Keith Lee so memorable.
Yeah.
Because he was doing stuff that a guy that size should not be doing.
I mean,
Same with Mike Awesome. Same with... Oh, who's the big Irish fella? He's kind of disappeared lately. He's
what? Who was working with?
He's nicked his other half.
I can't remember his name. I know you want about though.
Yeah, big. But he did it coast to coast or something. You know, he shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, true.
And then Ivar and the
War Raiders.
Ivar from the Viking, the War
Raiders.
Tried to War Raiders. You know, he's doing stuff like, okay, a guy that size should not be doing that. But
same as Otis, he can as well.
Yeah, and it's great when big guys pull that out, and you're like, okay.
No, yeah, but getting back to Yoko, I mean, obviously his matches. I mean, I've seen one thing that if somebody gave him shit in the locker room, like the jobber, that poor jobber would not get looked after. He'd get squished because I don't know if you remember watching when Yoko would do the banzai, his feet would slide out. Rather than him landing flat and safe, a couple of times he'd slide his feet out.
Right.
So they caught the full weight of him on their chest. Yeah, he'd done that quite a few times to people who I think disrespected him.
Which is just, I think, stupid. I mean, he's obviously part of the Inoue family, who's obviously Roman Reigns, the Usos, The Rock, Jimmy Snuka, Tamina Snuka, Nia Jax.
Yeah, all of those.
But as someone who's played rugby with fellas of Polynesian descent, both Maori, Samoan, Fijian and Tongas, they're big lads, they're lovely, they're all lovely, but do not get on the wrong side. And don't get on the wrong side of their mums either. The slipper is deadly. But yeah, I can imagine that. But you always hear that people getting on saying the stupid thing, or we'll mention it because we've already mentioned him once today. The mass transit incident. That was all because he said something stupid to the wrong person.
Yeah.
Of all the people you could have said some stupid shit to, you said it to him.
New Jack.
Because New Jack be scary, y'all. Whether it's urban legend or not, former bounty hunter, some legitimate, I don't know. Basically, he killed some people in the line of his work.
He just didn't care. That was the thing with New Jack. He did not care. Backstage, he'd be doing he'd be doing lines of coke.
Even before he was doing that, he was some of the stuff he did when Jim Cornette had him at Smoky Mountain.
Oh yeah, he was
with Mustafa, the gangsters. Oh. They're there in redneck country in the southern United States,
the Bible Belt.
Alabama,
the Bible Belt.
And there's New Jack who can talk a mile a minute. And what's the thing? It's on Go See Dark Side of the Ring, the Rise and Fall of New Jack. I think that's the episode.
Yeah.
Where even New Jack's and Jim Cornette said, and New Jack said, "What the hell should I say? Just go out there and say something that's going to upset white people." New Jack goes, "All right then." Off he goes
out and
off he goes.
Causes
a riot. I told you this, my other half, who's not a big wrestling fan. I went, "Listen to this," and it's right at the height of the LA riots, Rodney King, O.J. Simpson, all that stuff. So it's a lot of racial tension in America at that time. And what does New Jack do? He comes on script, onto the thing, looks dead at the camera and goes, "Hey, shout out to my boy O.J. That's 2 more. We'll get the rest." And I was like, oh! And even my wife was like, "Oh, I can't believe he said that." Where he said it, I'm like, oh. Now, that was before he got onto the stuff that maybe he shouldn't have gotten on. But yeah, then this kid, I don't know, what is he?
He was 17.
16, 17, said he was older. And then gets thrown into a match with New Jack because, I don't know, because the person who was meant to be fighting with New Jack didn't turn up, whatever. So Paul Heyman had to throw something and goes, we'll just feed someone. Well, we'll just have a quick, pop match with New Jack.
I think from what it was, from what I saw anyway, this kid had done a couple of stupid like indie shows.
Yeah, where he
was wrestling with dwarves.
Wrestlers, 2 little people.
Yeah, when he turned up at that event that day, that show, he had one of the little guys with him. And He's gone to the back and he's turned around and he said to, I think it was Heyman, that he's wrestled before, he's old enough, he's one of the boys. So Heyman's like, well, we are a bit short, so all right, let's sign this, blah, blah, blah. And he signed up and he's like, right, okay, you're going to be in a match with New Jack and I think Devon Dudley was there. And there was someone else.
I can't remember who the actor. I know it was this Mass Transit, as he called himself.
Yeah.
Because he played his
bus driver.
Yeah, bus driver. He was like a bus driver uniform. Or,
called himself the
Mass Metro
Transit.
train driver uniform, whatever it is.
But anyway, and he'd heard all about ECW, and he always wanted to get colour, as wrestlers call it, by blading or whatever. But on this occasion, he said the wrong thing. He went up to New Jack and said, "I want to be busted open the hard way."
Well, it wasn't just that. It was just, it wasn't just that. It's just the fact that he started calling the match. Well, to the veteran, which
you don't do that as a rookie. You sit back.
You just don't do that. You go up to them and go, "Hi, I'm working with you today. Great honour. What do you want to do?" And then you listen, and if they turn around and go, "Do you want to add anything?" You then go, "Yeah. What if we?
May I get this in?
May I get this in, or maybe we do this?"
You're polite, you're polite and show respect.
"Yeah, sure, kid. That's not a problem." Then you're fine. This kid did not do that. He came up to New Jack and went, "Let's do this. I want to do that. We're going to do this. You do that." And New Jack went, "No, we're fucking not."
No.
And then in the ring, cracks him in the head with I honestly can't remember, to drop him, and then he pulls out a scalpel.
Yeah.
Not a little razor blade.
The wrestlers use, no.
Yeah, no, an actual medical scalpel. And he catches something.
Yeah, he just completely
catches a vein or cuts something on his head.
And it just don't stop.
Bit jump forward. Not JBL's fault. Even JBL's was, he actually worked really hard to get Eddie out of there as quickly as possible.
Oh,
when he caught Eddie.
Yeah,
and it just caught Eddie wrong, in the wrong place, and Eddie just went.
Yeah.
And you could see Eddie suffering, and JBL could see Eddie suffering. Was like, shit, need to sort something out quick.
Yeah. Get the pin.
Yeah, basically.
Finish the match.
Basically. But anyway, back to Mass Transit. Yeah, so he just cut him open, and the kid just bled profusely. He's getting hammered by New Jack.
That's it, and it just got to the point the canvas was just smothered in blood, wasn't it? It was just pool of blood. And they got the kid out of there, and he's like, "I'm one of the boys, I'm one of the boys." And the kid's dad was there going, "What have you done to my son?" I mean, it even ended up in court, didn't it?
Yeah.
New Jack's like, "No, he said he was old enough, and he told me to do it."
Yeah.
So he got away with it.
Well, not only that, as Heyman went, "Well, hang on, he told us he was 18, 19, not 17. Here's a signed document saying he was previously done."
Yeah, I think they counter-sued.
I don't know if they counter-sued or they just went...
Something like that.
They might have counter-sued and just went, "Look, how about we just draw a line in it and go away?" But that's not the first controversy surrounding New Jack.
No.
There's a few.
Yeah.
Go look at the episode. It's all on there. But, and then you had some, obviously, Bubba Ray, who, again, they did it in ECW well with the stutter, which... it didn't work. Once they got rid of it, it was much better.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Bubba Ray, oh my word, that man can cause a riot, and nearly did several occasions.
Yeah.
In the ECW arena, just with that microphone. He knew how to get heat.
Well, what about I don't know if you've seen the video of it, where they're giving the 10-bell salute to a fallen wrestler, but somebody in the audience won't shut up. Does Bubba let rip at this woman at ringside? He proper lets rip at her, to the point Paul Heyman comes out, gives the woman double her money back,
and
they
get lost.
Tell her to get out.
Was that the Louis Spicoli 10 bells?
Possibly.
Might have been. I think that was the Spicoli 10 bells.
But yeah, she didn't respect it. She kept talking, and you don't do that. There's things that are sacred to wrestlers, and talking during a 10-bell salute, no, you don't do that. You keep quiet. And if you can't keep quiet for 10 seconds, there's something wrong with you, I think.
But the Dudleys started off obviously as a joke on the twins from Slapshot.
Yeah.
Who had the broken glasses with the bit in the middle.
That's it.
But the Dudleys, Daddy Dudley, Or was it Papa Dudley?
For those of you who don't know, there was more than just Devon and Bubba Ray.
Samoan Guy Dudley, Sign Guy Dudley, Big Dick Dudley, Native American or Dances with Dudleys. I think the Native American Dudley dances with Dudleys. I think.
Spike Dudley,
Little Spike Dudley,
and of course Sign Guy Dudley.
Sign Guy Dudley. Oh, I said yeah.
So yeah, there was quite a few of the Dudleys, you know, and obviously Spike was the runt of the litter. I mean, that man, the bumps that he took
Was it 150 pounds soaking wet? That's
something
it's
like
not even
that.
10 stone.
10
10 stone's about 220 pounds.
Yeah.
No, hang on. So like, no, it's not. Is it 14 pounds to the stone? So yeah, about 100. Yeah, it's about 10 stone. If
But
that.
he took
10, 11
some.
stone.
He took some wild bumps. But I still think one of the funniest ones is where he got who was it? It was Bam Bam, wasn't it? Who threw him out to the crowd and they threw him back.
That's where that started, I think.
Yeah, he got crowd surfed and then they put him back.
And then it kind of happened. Any time he got in with a big guy, Bubba would do it to him. I think Big Dick Dudley did it to him. Primetime did it to him. Mike Awesome did it to him.
I know Mike Awesome did it.
Sid did it to him.
And the thing is, he loved it. He absolutely loved it.
It was the reaction he wants.
Yeah.
It's the reaction. It's the he wants.
He was known as Spike the Giant Killer, wasn't he?
For a while, yeah. Because he beat One Man Gang.
Otherwise known as Akeem.
If you want to know, just so 80s. Was he Twin Towers? Wasn't it? With
Yeah,
Boss
it
Man?
was him and the Big Boss Man with their manager Slick.
Akeem was a white guy. He was as white as we are, and he did a whole African gimmick. Yes, it's as bad as it sounds. He had his top, his t-shirt had like this African.
It was all
colourful-
African pattern around it, and
Yeah.
and
For anyone out there, seriously, it's like if you've got Nigerian relatives or know people from Nigeria, and it's that sort of colour scheme.
yeah, it was blue.
Going on blue, but with
gold,
the colour,
wasn't it?
blue and gold colourful thing around there.
And on the
He had
back,
the hat, and it was like, oh my. Even then, I was like, oh my word.
and even on the back, it actually had the continent of Africa with Akeem written inside it. It's
he was
like,
as white as we were. He was as white as we were. Cody Rhodes is blacker than he is.
but they was a good tag. I like the Big Boss Man.
Big Boss Man Ray Taylor is a cracking big man, and we'll get onto good big men as well.
I've always said it. If he hadn't have passed away, he, I think, would have been the manager for the Shield.
Perfect. Yeah, that works.
He would have been the
That would
manager
have
for the
cracking one.
Shield. Without a doubt, they would have done his bidding.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. That would have been a good one, actually.
Yeah, because towards the end, he wore the flak jacket, and he had all the gear on. Yeah, it would have worked.
Yeah, no, that was good. He was man from, was it Cobb County, Georgia or something?
Yeah, Cobb County, Georgia.
Cobb County, I said Cobb. For years I thought it was Cobb County, Georgia.
No,
and he's
it's
a
Cobb.
correctional officer.
Cobb County, Georgia. I'm going to get. There's going to be people in the comments now, moaning. No, it's Cobb County. Yes, we know. We're English, but we know.
No. Even as a kid, I thought it was Cobb County. I thought it was part of the joke.
Misheard lyrics.
Sort of thing, but yeah, I thought it was.
Misheard
I
lyrics.
thought that would kind of play to the joke. You know how Undertaker was from Death Valley, for instance.
Oh yeah, or Parts Unknown.
That was
That was
Mankind.
There was a lot of wrestlers from Parts
Yeah,
Unknown.
like the Boogeyman and Kamala was from Parts Unknown or Deepest.
No, he was part of Uganda.
Yeah, Deepest Dark. Another sort of. You're looking back at it, you're like, yeah.
I felt sorry for him because apparently, if you hear some of the stories from back in the territory days,
Oh my word!
some of the wrestlers, the ribs that they do to him,
some of the ribs.
he was a right big softie, you know, and they would literally wind him up so much. I think on one occasion somebody bought what was it, like a red strobe light.
Yeah.
So as they're driving to another town, they put it on the top of their car and he thought it was the police and he shit himself. He was absolutely crapping it, and when they got out, it was them going.
He started to get over towards the end of his run, wasn't it?
He was
'Cause
a baby
him,
face.
I remember him doing with his belly, and then all the fans would do it as well, and he'd be like,
That's not right. Yeah.
It was brilliant.
With his manager, Harvey Whippleman.
Who was under a mask as, what was the name of the guy?
Kimchi?
Kimchi, that was it. Kimchi.
Was that Whippleman?
Yeah, it was Whippleman. I think that's Whippleman.
No, because you had two. 'Cause you had Whippleman and Kimchi.
Were they ever seen it on the screen at the same time?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. I'll shut my
Just
face.
check out any of the casket matches he had with Taker.
Oh yeah, but why did someone already? I think they already asked this on Taker's podcast. Why did we never see Papa Shango versus Taker?
That would have been interesting.
I think one dropped off as the other one came up.
Yeah, and they changed his gimmick, didn't they? To Karma.
Yeah,
That's when they put him against
the fighting machine. Yeah,
yeah, because he took the urn and melted it down into a chain. Do you remember?
A gold chain wore around his neck.
Yeah, that thick gold chain. Which I was like, oh really?
Some of the. But yeah, some.
Yeah, but even for the 90s, to not do that spooky match, I think is a tragedy.
Well, even I think Mick says something about it in his book. Like when he's going into WWE as Mankind, they've been throwing all sorts of monsters at Undertaker. Yeah.
Oh, if the latest big man, if they wanted to test out a big man, they put him against Taker.
Not just big men, they were just throwing monsters who didn't know what they were doing. What's his face?
Well, the Jante, as he was known in the WCW.
Yeah, El Gigante. Giant Gonzalez, that was it. I think
That's
his name.
it. He just
and people,
lurch.
Yeah.
You rang.
And it was awful, and I felt sorry for Taker because, as we know, Taker can wrestle, but it was just he was given these monsters, and every now and then he'd get something good, like he'd get Sid. You can work with Sid.
Yeah, Sid's workable.
You can get Sid. I'd like to have seen Taker Vader.
Maybe
That would have been stiff.
Yeah,
that would have been stiff because that's how Vader worked.
Yeah.
Stiff.
Yeah.
And not like that either. Stiff, for those of you who aren't wrestlers, means you actually crack someone. You're going to hit them. There is no,
No fake. Yeah, it's
No.
not fake. They do connect.
no slightly open palm when they strike. He actually cracks people one.
Yeah.
Everything hurts. That's how it looks so good. It actually hurts. Which is how Mick Foley learned about Terry Funk's big left hand.
Ah, right.
He's going to see it. I'm going to see how he does it. What's the secret? The secret is he actually punches you square in the face.
I can imagine. I bet. You would not want to get hit by that.
I wouldn't get a bit hit by any of it, especially Vader, his size. When he was in WCW. WCW, and when he was in Japan, worked perfectly. Big monster of a guy. Brilliant. But WCW, he just... Either because Vince wanted to bury him.
Yeah.
Either Vince wanted to bury him, or...
After a while.
Which wouldn't surprise me, or they just didn't know what to do with him.
I reckon they didn't know, because they ended up feeding him to Kane, and Kane smacked him supposedly with a wrench. That was one of the last times I think I saw it. I saw Vader. And that was...
Yeah, because he kind of comes out of the ring almost crying like, man, he's a really strong guy. He's a really strong guy. And wanders off. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, I think that was one of his last matches with the WWE, to be honest with you. But no,
90s.
Oh, there's so many matches.
Do you remember was that? It was a WCW event. I can't remember who was in the cage with Flair. It was a cage match. What we would now consider actually a Hell in a Cell, I think. Over the top of the ring. That's how big the cage was. It actually went over the top of the ring. But it was Flair in the cage. And they had RoboCop.
Oh! I think that was Starrcade 92.
RoboCop. Just there guarding the cage to make sure no one could get in or out.
No, Sting, wasn't it? Because Sting got thrown in the cage and they locked it. A RoboCop came out, tore the door off for Sting to get in and make the save. And the thing was, though, that was Peter Weller inside the costume.
Poor must have been sweating under all those lights.
Well, you got how long it took him to get put in that costume. So it took him 5 hours.
And then
to get put in that
costume.
Was
it the return casket match between Taker and Yokozuna where Chuck Norris turned up? As Walker, Texas Ranger.
Basically.
And I think he basically roundhouse kicks Jeff Jarrett. I think it was Jeff Jarrett.
I think he gave him a side kick.
Yeah, it wasn't the full roundhouse kick then.
No.
Because Jeff Jarrett wouldn't be here with us today if that happened.
But no, I remember the first one during the Royal Rumble where
everyone dove on him.
It was like 10 people. It took 10 people to put Taker into the casket.
And then the whole magic show at the end.
Yeah, where on the screen you see him going up. And what they tried to do was, where the smoke came out from the top of that Tritantron, they tried to do it so that you could see a silhouette of the Taker going up.
It didn't work.
Not really.
And then he disappeared for a while. And $1 million man going around looking for him, paying people to look for him. And then he brought him back, but it was the fake Taker.
Oh, no, before that, though. Before that, it was Leslie Nielsen going to look for him.
I remember that.
Police Squad style. Police Squad style, mate.
He's looking this way, there's something going on behind him. I remember that as well now. Now you say that, I remember that. Jesus.
That was funny, that was. Because that's where it ended, at that SummerSlam, wasn't it? They're on the trail of the Taker. And then, and it turns out the whole time that when he came back, it was Crush, wasn't it?
Oh, Primetime Brian Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, Primetime Brian Lee from ECW, I'm not sure. I think it might be the same guy. Bat 7.
No, Brian Adams. Crush was Brian Adams, wasn't it? But, so and you could tell straight away. I mean, the fact...
Didn't have the tattoos, weren't right. Wasn't quite the right size. Close, don't get me wrong.
He was close. The hair was the right length as well. But, it just... It was almost something they tried to do the fake Diesel with poor Glenn Jacobs, otherwise known as Kane. You know,
Isaac Yankem, DDS.
Yeah, another gimmick he hated, but he had to feed the family, so he took it.
He was a king's dentist, wasn't he?
Oh, that was crazy. There was, so all in all, there was some good matches back in the 90s. There really was.
Well, again, another name that the Taker was meant to have. It was meant to be Kane the Undertaker, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was the first original name, wasn't it? Although he was actually shitting himself because he thought he was going to be Egg Man.
He thought he was coming out of the egg.
Yeah, he thought, I'm going to have to shave all my hair off.
Survivor Series 91? 1991?
Something like that, yeah. And he
with
debuted. And he debuted. I think it was a couple of weeks after.
Look at the size of that ham hock from round 5. As he's walking down, it's brilliant. And he wipes out like most of the other team, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it's funny. I miss Piper. He was good.
He was cracking on commentary.
One of the best people you could put on the mic ever. Absolutely. I mean,
his match. We're talking about matches. His match with Bret Hart.
Yeah, for the Intercontinental title.
So good. So good. Told a story again. The whole build-up of Piper because he'd been around for years. He goes, I've known you since you were knee high. This, big, love your family and stuff like that. And Piper was like, wasn't quite a heel, wasn't quite a face, was he? But he was a fan, the fan favourite at the time.
Well, this was it. He was over. I'm amazed that Vince kept him around because you know what Vince was like. Unless he created it, he didn't want you there. But Piper got over anyway.
If he tried to bury Piper, Piper would have had him.
And I remember the promo he done, like the episode of Piper's Pit where Stone Cold was on now.
Oh dear. And
he gives Stone Cold a slap. Welcome to Piper's Pit. And Stone Cold gives him a receipt back. He's like, I like ya. They shared a beer. That was a good one, that was. I think that was the build-up to... was it when, I think, Randy Orton, who was beating... Or was it Jericho who was beating all the legends? I think it was Jericho.
Possibly. Yeah, I think it was Jericho. Well, no, you had Jericho's bit where he took on, like, Dragon Steamboat.
And Piper. Dragon Steamboat, Piper and Superfly.
Yeah. But obviously you also had Randy Orton doing his legend killer.
Yeah.
Which ended up with him being dumped on thumbtacks by Mick.
That's true, yep. And it was bare-backed as well. Ooh. That's going to sting a little.
Little.
I would not want... Yeah, thumbtacks are not good. Not good at all. All right, let's shoot forward to modern day. Right. Monday Night Raw that's just passed.
Oh, good
opening promo. John Cena, Cody Rhodes.
It was good. The crowd were great. British
crowds always are in London.
Some good shots by Cena, some great shots by Rhodes. Yeah, who was chosen? They chose me. you were chosen by someone who doesn't work here and we can't mention anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh
nice.
no, that was really good. It was like, right, how can we one up each other that little bit
The
more?
fact that
Good
Cody
for
came out and
business.
goes, well, I've got a bit of a lisp.
Yeah,
Which he
but
does. His dad had a bit of a lisp, and his dad was one of the best talkers going.
Yeah.
But bit of a lisp. I've got an arm tattoo on my neck. He even made fun of the Stardust, and then the crowd started chanting Stardust.
Oh no.
Even he must. I think there was even a brief pause by Cody going, "Really? I got a Stardust chant? What the fuck?"
But I like the fact that he brought up the one who can't be mentioned, and then John Cena brings up Tony Khan.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
So that was a good tip for tat with
Good
that
tip for
because
tat,
this morning, no, it wasn't this morning. Sorry, it was this morning. It was early hours of this morning. I want to say.
Well, no, because it was here in the UK. It would have been last night.
Well, it's Wednesday now, so
Wednesday. Sorry, yeah. So,
yeah, but it was on early, wasn't it? Monday, because I was in London, so it was on at 8:00.
yeah, 8 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is, Busted Open Radio on YouTube. I was listening to Bully Ray talking about it, and even Bully was saying how impressive like the showdown was, the battle of words, you know. And I have to full respect to Bully stroke Bubba Ray. He's actually quite a savant, so to speak, when it comes to predicting matches and what's going on. Because with predictions that he's been saying, because with this past Monday, we will get there, but the result of the Io Sky Rhea Ripley match, he kind of predicted that.
Yeah, no, I
a
remember you
week or
telling me
two
that.
ago.
Said there was going to be some sort of weird shenanigans.
Oh, basically, yeah, because he was saying that he was watching WrestleMania 10, and when Lex Luger fought Yokozuna, the fact that like Mr. Perfect was the guest referee, and Lex Luger hit Yoko with a bionic forearm. Yoko went down. Luger tried to pin him, but Luger was distracted because he also give a clump to Mr. Fuji. So, and Luger's getting his attention, shaking his clothes, pinning him, and Perfect being Perfect. It's like, no, you put your hands on me. What? So he disqualified Luger. So, yeah, Bubba Ray came up, like said that.
Or something along those lines.
What if, yeah, because he said none of these ladies are getting pinned. He's like, it's got to be a DQ, because that's the only way they can go into the three-way for WrestleMania, which, let's face it, it's going to happen.
Probably, yeah. It'll probably get announced on SmackDown or something.
Probably on SmackDown, yeah, because they've only got one or two.
SmackDown, that's it. SmackDown, isn't it?
It's not this weekend, WrestleMania. It's next weekend, I think.
Ah, yeah. So they've got SmackDown, 2 SmackDowns and a Raw.
Yeah.
But the whole Gunther murdering Jimmy Uso, that was so good.
It needed it.
Good.
It needed it.
And then he had his bit on. Did you see him on Legends?
No.
So he comes out. So he's there. He says hello to Taker. Yeah, Taker's like, Gunther, my boy. I claim him. But he comes on and he goes down the line and he's like, oh, you're ex NFL, you're ex rest, this, you're ex that, and goes, so you all failed at what you actually wanted to do, and you thought you'd give wrestling a go.
Ooh.
If you're here, if you're here just to make yourself famous, get out. Basically, I'm here because I love this sport. It's the only thing I've ever wanted to do.
Yeah.
I'm a wrestler first. It's all I am. It's up there with. Do you remember the Triple H speech from Tough Enough? It's up there with that.
Yeah, that first
it's
Tough
up there
Enough.
with that, and it's like the fact that he just come up and goes, so you failed at the thing that you wanted to do, NFL star, whatever.
Yeah.
And you thought you'd give my passion a go.
Yeah, you thought it comes on
so good.
If you think you can do it.
That, and then what he did to Jimmy Uso was like, chef kiss villainy. He's just like, love it.
He's definitely.
He's the
no
best
wonder he's
heel
a
at the
champ.
moment.
Yeah,
He's
he's
the best heel at the
definitely.
And you do need a big bad guy, someone, big.
There isn't anyone.
No, you need a monster, as I say. You need a big bad guy at the top for someone to chase, and that's what they're doing with Jay.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, when it comes to heels, there isn't that many.
No.
That's the problem. Even I think
Chad Gable's doing well, actually. To be fair.
Oh, he's brilliant. He is. He's just like he is the modern day Angle.
Chad Gable's doing well as a heel. I hate to say it, but Logan Paul's doing quite well as a heel.
He's doing it more old school. I like he's using the old
he's
school.
He's using his kind of YouTube.
I'm rich, you're not.
Yeah, sort of thing. His YouTube
and fair enough.
It should all be about me.
Yeah, I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this because I enjoy it.
Not even that. I'm doing this to make myself richer.
Well, yeah.
He's kind of leaning into what people thought he was there for, which was he's just doing it to get himself more money, make himself more famous.
Well,
and he's kind of leaning into that, and I like that. And then there is the nuclear level Chernobyl heat that Dom Mysterio has, which I don't think anyone can touch at the moment.
No, I don't think.
The fact that
Dom is just on another level.
If they've got extra time, or if they need to kill time, they send Dom out with a microphone, and he doesn't have to say anything. The microphone doesn't even have to turn on. He just walks out, and people are like, "Boo!" People would kill for that sort of heat, and he's got it. And I'm sorry, they need to stick a belt on him.
It will happen.
An actual belt.
It will happen.
Is he tag champion? No, he's not tag champion at the moment.
No. He's in for the IC belt.
I can see him having the belt on him. Like, Braun wipes out Penta, or Penta they wipe out each other, and then somehow Dom gets a cheap pin and wins it. That would be great if that happens. I could see that happening. He somehow gets a cheap pin that he shouldn't get. Like, he falls on someone.
Well,
that's happened before.
It's going to be a 4-way, I reckon. Yeah, at Mania.
For the IC?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Dirty Dom, Finn Balor, Penta versus, with Breaker.
He's going to get the pin. He's going to somehow fall into the pin, I reckon. He's going to get clattered. Like, he's going to get in the middle of Penta and Braun.
A spear, maybe.
Or Penta and Braun. He's going to get... Yeah, so it's like Braun will wipe him out, Penta will wipe him out, Finn will wipe him out, and Finn is like, yes, I've got it. And then somehow Dom gets a cheap pin. Like, he gets clattered, but then he falls on someone and gets the 1, 2, 3. Or doesn't even know it happens.
Or Dom throws Finn out the ring.
Good one. Yeah, throws that one and just jumps on. But that's kind of been done. I like the idea of him just kind of passing out and falling on someone.
That would be interesting. That would be a way to win it, definitely. But I like the fact that Finn Balor still thinks he's the leader of the Judgment Day, when at the moment it just seems that Liv is the leader of the Judgment Day.
I reckon. Okay, so thing that just popped in my head, and I hope it happens because we haven't seen it in a while. But Balor loses at Mania, right? Gets kicked out of the Judgment Day, and then the Judgment Day slowly get picked off by the Demon. We don't see Balor for ages, like a few weeks, like a couple of months.
Right.
A couple of months, and he comes back a bit like Bray did with the Fiend, but they start getting picked off by the Demon. Or he challenges them to a match, you Raw next week, or you Backlash next week.
See, here's the only problem.
And they think it's going to be Finn. That'll be Finn, it's fine, but then the Demon turns up.
See, that would be good, but apart from, the only person really who's wrestling there is Dom, because Carlito isn't. Since he came back, which was when they was in Puerto Rico, last year?
Something like that.
I think it was. He's done nothing.
No.
So, having him there, I mean, JD McDonough was the only other one, but he's still off injured. Which is why Dom was like, let's get somebody else involved.
Which everyone thinks is going to be Aleister Black or Malachi Black, which I don't think Malachi needs the Judgment Day.
No, he doesn't, and he'll be on SmackDown anyway.
Yeah.
They're on Raw.
That gorgeous kick, I love that finisher.
So, but I think if anything, he may, if they do the House of Black on there,
that'd be interesting, because if he brings Buddy Matthews with him, because obviously we all know he's married to Rhea.
Yep.
And he brings the other fella along he's kind of stuck in mid-card hell at the moment.
Yeah. But also, on SmackDown now, you've got the White Six.
White Six versus House of Black, that could be interesting.
So, I wonder what they're going to be doing, because they've kept Alexa Bliss off TV again, because obviously they want to put her with the Wyatts and to see how that goes. But I mean, if you did do that, I can see one little advantage, which would be at least Alexa would be able to team with Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
So it'd be another tag team for the women's division. You know, so And I actually like Nikki. I think she's brilliant. When she plays herself as batshit crazy. Batshit Nikki is brilliant.
That is good, yeah. When she was proper mad in NXT.
Oh, the black and gold NXT, yeah.
Yeah, black and gold NXT.
Back in that, what was that storyline? Nikki's got a secret.
Where Aleister Black gets wiped out by an unknown assailant. And she's just running around going, I know a secret, I know a secret. And it's like, everyone's like, yeah, nah. And it's just, I know who got Aleister. And all this is brilliant. And then she's in the middle of a match with, I can't remember who. And then the lights go out. Aleister's black. And the first few notes of Aleister Black's song hits. Lights come up and he's sat in the middle of the ring. And Nikki's there just looking at him, transfixed. And he's just like, that. And he's like, tell me. And the whole crowd's getting into it.
He's got a secret. I remember that. Yeah,
so good.
That's when NXT Black and Gold was really good.
Because Triple H was in charge.
Well,
he was booking it, wasn't he?
Yeah, but
him and Regal.
I mean, Regal's still there now, help booking, but I think he's more helping with the Raw side. He ain't doing SmackDown. SmackDown, I think he's left to the Road Dogg. Which no, it's not fine because they've been crap. Road Dogs are used. I mean, sorry, I don't mean to hurt, but Road Dogg can't book for dog shit. It's 3 hours. Yeah, see, but it's too long for starters. SmackDown shouldn't be 3 hours long.
Raw shouldn't be 3 hours bloody long.
So they should just keep them at 2. Yeah, no, maybe 2:15.
I mean, maybe if they pulled Heyman back in to help book SmackDown again.
Maybe, but he's got his hands full as it is.
No, that's true.
The amount of people he helps behind the scenes.
Producers and stuff, yeah. He's got his finger in so many pies.
So, it's difficult. I can see it being really, really difficult. But, what was I going to...
going back to Gunther's thing.
The Gunther, Jay and Jimmy Uso.
Him and that whole thing, it obviously ties up Jay, so he can't help his brother. His brother comes in.
Well, exactly. So we got one more Raw or SmackDown where, see, and I agree again. This is what I'm not sure if the other streamer I watched, JD, was saying this. What Jay needs to do is when he next comes out, whether it be Raw or SmackDown, forget about yeeting with the crowd for 10 minutes. Forget it. This is more personal now.
Yeah.
It's beyond yeet. Because if they're still going to harp on with him yeeting all the time, I'm sorry, then he is mid-card Jey Uso and he does not deserve to win. But, and this is a big but, if he goes in there and he is pissed and he gives one of the most basic emotional promos of his life to get the crowd back on side. Now it's personal. He's bloodied my brother in front of me. You think I'm going to let him... To actually give him that motivation, the people behind him, in order for him to win. Otherwise, sorry, but Gunther's just going to go over again at WrestleMania. And, believe it or not, this is the first WrestleMania where not one of the Royal Rumble winners is main eventing.
No. Because the main event is Rollins.
We all know, here's my prediction. Night 1, curtain jerker or first match. Gunther, Jey Uso.
Really?
That's first? Yeah. That's going to be the first match.
I reckon it might be the women's match,
No, I don't.
I think it will because that's usually what they call the toilet break match, which I think is...
That's normally about an hour in, though.
That's what I mean. I reckon they put that one on first as you say, the curtain jerker, as the warm-up. Get people all into that, and then... it's just I think putting them where they usually put them, everyone just... the crowd are kind of a bit...
Well, see, the thing is, I mean, even as Roman Reigns says, if I'm not going on last, I'm going on first, because they're two of the best spots, apparently. So, if they do put Gunther, Jey Uso on first, ain't a bad thing. Get the crowd warmed up for everything. If Jey wins, and you get everyone yeeting.
Well, yeah, I suppose what you mean, you could kind of set the bar, as it were.
Yeah. And then the second match, I think night 1 will be probably the IC title.
Yeah. That would be a good way to end it, actually.
Because I think the United States Championship, which will be LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu, at that point, because this Friday on SmackDown is going to be Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman last man standing match for a number one contender.
Right, yeah.
So it'll be Jacob Fatu without a doubt, I think. I think that'll be night 2. Because that's what night 2 worthy. The thing is, they've got so many, booking so many matches.
Now I can kind of, obviously with how big their roster is now, having WrestleMania over 2 nights now makes sense.
And here's another thing as well. Saying that the winner of the Royal Rumble main events WrestleMania, I think they need to stop saying that.
No, it's meant to be they get a title shot at WrestleMania.
Well, if a lot of it is now, it's like they're supposed to main event it, which hasn't happened for a couple of years. But what they should do, because there's 2 Rumbles now, the male and the female, and there's 2 nights of WrestleMania. Instead of that, it should be, as you just said, what they're fighting for now in the Rumble, the winner gets a title shot at WrestleMania, not the main event.
Yeah.
Depending on, because you don't know what's going to be happening with other people.
I think, I don't know if they are, I would like them to bring the Money in the Bank ladder match back to Mania. Have it once a year at Mania. That way everyone knows, obviously you've got a year to cash it in. That way you have the ladder match at Mania, and you've then got 12 months of when is it going to get cashed in.
See, that was okay before they started doing the women's Money in the Bank as well. Otherwise you're having to put 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches
Well, you can have one on one at night 1, one on night 2.
Now you can, yeah, true. No, I get you. It's just they enjoy having it as their
In
own
fact, you say Gunther Jay, first match, have the women's ladder match, Money in the Bank ladder match, curtain jerker, night 1. That'll get everyone up, get everyone buzzing. Then, obviously, main event of WrestleMania night 1 would be Jay and Gunther.
Yeah, I can see that. It should be good. What else? Tag titles, I think, will be on the line.
God, I don't.
So that's going to be the War Raiders versus the New Day. So I think New Day will win that. Give them the titles as heels for a change.
Have Big A come back in some...
He's actually got online now. He said, nah, he's not coming back ever.
No, I know he can't wrestle because of his neck.
Yeah.
But obviously there's that whole... He was looked to be kind of their manager or whatever, or their mouthpiece, whatever. Have him be that eventually, but he comes down, interferes, causes War Raiders to lose and joins this new evil New Day. Because they were heels to begin with, weren't they?
Yeah, when it very first started.
Why not go? It's like almost going full circle. They go back to that and have
before Xavier Woods, wasn't it?
Before. No, don't think so.
Wasn't it?
No, I don't think so.
Right. Do me a favour, right, budge over a minute. I've just got to go to the toilet.
Pee break.
Whilst
easy, son.
All right. Whilst I'm gone, mention your top 10 predictions.
Oh,
good.
I haven't even seen the card for WrestleMania.
We'll stop that.
I think everyone's saying it. I kind of agree with it in a way. I think, Cena wins at WrestleMania. Instant flame war. Cena wins at Mania. Him and Cody battle it back over Backlash and then SummerSlam. They could even trade the title. Maybe not at Backlash, but it's like Backlash, SummerSlam, and then maybe Cody re-wins it at SummerSlam Survivor Series, and that's where Cena then bows out because that's nearly his full year done. One way to do it. But yeah, I'd say Cena's probably going to win that. Jay's probably going to win the world title. I could see. I think Dom. I'm going to put me money on Dom winning the IC title through shenanigans. Women's title. Would be good to put it on Belair again for a while, just different. Or keep it on Sky, actually. That would be different as well. But I think Belair's going to win it. Though, as much as I'm a fan of Rhea Ripley's, there's they need to do something fresh with her, or give her something fresh to do. Having her be the champion all the time is fine, but it gets stale after a while, and she may feel that herself. I don't know. I'm probably wrong. I don't want to speak for her, but you need to do something different with that. Otherwise, the women's division. Otherwise, Rhea Ripley will start getting the sort of hate and wrong hate, on my opinion, that Charlotte Flair gets. That Charlotte Flair gets unfairly.
Right, yeah, I'm back, folks.
Yeah.
Good.
Then US title.
Mind your ham hock.
I reckon Fatu should be. I think he's done really well.
I've got it up here.
In a short space of time, I think Fatu's done really well.
Alright, I've got it up here. Here we go. The match card for WrestleMania 41 as on WWE.com. Undisputed WWE Championship match. Cody Rhodes versus Cena.
As I say, I think Cena's going to win that.
I reckon.
Cena will win that, and then there'll be a rematch at Backlash, and then they'll probably have another match at SummerSlam, maybe, and then a last chance match for Cody at Survivor Series, which he then wins, and that's where maybe Cena bows out.
I actually think Cody will win because past SmackDown, that Randy Orton told him that basically that he wants number 15.
Right.
So
and that kind of works because with their what were they called? Was it Legacy?
Yeah, they was part of Legacy, weren't they? So I can see Cody Rhodes going over, Orton challenging.
They've got to get Backlash out of the way with. So I think Backlash.
Orton.
Yeah.
Orton at Backlash, and then maybe if Orton takes it off of him, then Orton Cena. And then Cody has to fight, and then basically he wins it again next year at Madison Square Garden.
What, the Rumble or?
No, I don't think they're doing the Rumble at the Garden, are they?
Don't know.
But next time they're at Madison Square Garden.
Oh,
that's where it should have been won. Anyway, right, we've got a triple threat match. Roman Reigns, Punk, Seth Rollins, but we know that's headlining.
I don't know who would win that.
I've got a theory for you with this match.
Oh, here we go.
What do you think to the idea of basically Heyman betraying Reigns and Punk
for Rollins?
Siding Rollins.
I think I saw that. I saw that.
Because, or Seth Rollins sells his soul.
To The Rock.
Because he hates both people.
That much, yeah.
He really doesn't want Punk to have his main event match, this main event. And I think he will literally do anything. But to be honest with you, I mean, Roman's up there anyway, so is Punk. Seth Rollins, not really, not lately. You know, and I know in fact, you take it, I mean, who was it who said it? You take the entrance music away. He's not really, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a fantastic wrestler. Yeah, before I get any hatred in the comments.
Get him!
You know, not taking anything away from Rollins. But he needs something. And I think, because every person that Heyman has been with has been a champion, has become a champion. And I think Rollins as a heel with Heyman, because he's just literally can't lose the plot.
No, that could work. Also, I see what you mean with. I mean, I think Rollins has been. Yeah, he did. I mean, him and McIntyre kind of carried the company through COVID era.
Yeah.
Which was a bit unfair on both because they didn't really have the crowd there in the arena.
No, yeah, it was terrible back then, wasn't it?
But I mean, they could have done what say AEW doing, which were bringing everyone from the back out to watch it. And NXT kind of started doing that as well with the
the plexiglass and all that.
Which,
yeah, I remember
again,
that.
Worked.
See, another way to
Mind you,
look
that
at
time
it.
Miz was on commentary was hilarious. I thought Miz on commentary during I can't remember what episode of SmackDown it was, but it was brilliant. He was doing the chants himself. It was really good. But yeah, they had a really.
I forgot about that. I actually did.
They had a really sort of. I don't want to say unfair because it was just what was happening in the world, but it's kind of because the reaction wasn't there that you get with a live crowd.
Yeah.
I think that kind of hampered both of them a little bit.
Well, not only that, but it will. If Rollins turns heel, it'll make Roman the ultimate babyface. Punk doesn't need to be a babyface. CM Punk's CM Punk.
You can go either way, yeah.
So, but
switching them though, that would be a good idea. Switching the roles between Rollins and Reigns would be a good idea, yeah.
So Reigns is the babyface, Rollins is the heel. That would
because
work.
Reigns is getting cheered like a face anyway.
Well, this is it. See, to say face and heels now is
it's like just with the
because the fans like the bad guys. So
what's happened with Roman Reigns is more or less what happened with his cousin, The Rock.
Yeah.
Look at it. When Rock first turned up as Rocky Maivia, baby-faced, blue blood, baby-faced, cherub-faced, smiling, trying to be everyone's friend.
Yeah, it didn't go over.
Everybody hated him. Wrong time for that turn up because the Attitude Era just picked up. The wrong time for it. And that's why people got, there were Rocky suck chants, Rocky die and stuff like that, which was awful. But then he kind of used that for when he changed to The Rock and became part of the Nation of Domination. When he changed to The Rock and went, right, I'm just going to be pissed off at people now. But then people started liking that. And then the third, talking about yourself in the third person and people joining in with the, you smell what The Rock is cooking and all the rest of it. And then he went face again and now he's got this huge respect.
Mega star, yeah.
You've got all this,
the final boss.
It's like fans went, okay, we gave you a lot of shit and you put up with it. We now like you. And it's kind of the same with Reigns.
Yeah. I mean, for 4 years...
McMahon tried to force you as like Cena or Hogan 3.0 if Cena's Hogan 2.0. But, is the next sort of big thing. Hogan, Cena, Reigns is the next big babyface.
Yeah.
That he kind of created because he didn't really have he helped Stone Cold get to where he was, but Stone Cold was Stone Cold.
Oh, he done it himself.
Was Austin's own creation. But,
without doubt.
Reigns was that sort of Hogan 3.0 sort of thing. Like, look, this is your new hero. And no one wanted it. He got booed out of the building.
Yeah, I know. But
then, eventually, just sticking him with Heyman, turning him heel, and working with that heat that he already had. Again, fans went, okay, we gave you a lot of shit, but now we like you.
You're with the mad scientist.
Yeah, we now like you. It's now time to go the other way. Right, let's turn him face now and go with that.
Yeah, so that could work. All right. What else we got? I forgot about this one. It's Tiffy time versus Charlotte. What do you see with this one?
As I said earlier, I think Charlotte gets a lot of hate that she doesn't deserve. I think it's mainly because she's a flare.
Possibly.
And the fact that Vince, who liked blondes, pushed her a lot. But she had the talent to be pushed like that.
No, not going to deny
and now
that.
She's kind of feeding into a bit of a father's thing of jet riding.
Limousine riding.
So jet flying, limousine riding, looking stunning on a yacht.
Even every time she comes to the ring, even her robes.
Yeah,
absolutely
she's
fantastic.
Feeding into that flair, that nature.
So, I mean, what do you think? Do you think she'll beat Tiffy, or do you think Tiffy will retain?
I think Tiffy will retain. I reckon Tiffy will retain.
Because a lot of people...
that will cause a proper feud between them.
Hopefully, but because a lot of people right now are saying that Tiffany Stratton has only been on SmackDown, I think, for, 18 months?
She's doing well, though.
She is doing well, yeah.
I think Tiffy's going to win it, but if it goes the other way...
She needs to stop being the girly girl.
A little bit, and losing the title could do that. Could maybe go down a bit like what Toni Storm's doing.
Oh, I love Toni Storm, yeah.
But sort of need to get rid of this sort of persona and go more into the
Basically, yeah. I mean, I think her gimmick.
But a feud between her and Charlotte could do Tiffy the one world of good.
Yeah, definitely. That's providing Charlotte wants to put her over and not just do what she normally does and think Charlotte.
I don't think the current management will let her do that.
Possibly. I mean, all right, we'll see what happens. Because I think this is going to be... I think that will be night one, Charlotte and Tiffy.
Yeah, probably.
So I think Bianca, Rhea and Io will be night two.
Yeah, because that's possibly got more eyes on it. Mainly because of Rhea, because she's like...
Oh, well, so many people love Rhea. She's over.
She's hugely over.
This is it, isn't it? Between her and... I think the only other big thing I like that who can move pretty well is... what's her name? Stephanie Vac? No. Who's with Liv Morgan at the minute?
I know
tag
what you
team.
mean.
Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Raquel Rodriguez. Yeah, no, and I think
how they haven't thrown those two at each other yet, I don't know. Not properly, I mean.
Well, at the moment, I think Raquel and Liv are happy because the way they're looking at each other, it's almost like they see themselves as the female Shawn Michaels and Diesel.
Yeah, no, I
and she was very happy to take that compliment because she respects the hell out of Kevin Nash. And she's like, I've watched him from back then. I've watched how he moves, what type of moves he do.
She starts using Jackknife Powerbomb.
Well, I think she did, didn't she? On one of the last matches. Her match with Io Sky and the tag match that they had a few weeks ago was absolutely brilliant. Where, Liv, I thought she broke Io's nose where she done the code breaker. And then that was where Liv got cut open on her eye. She got that gash on her eye.
Liv Morgan has been taking some whoopings. We also I felt that hair whip. I felt that hair whip at the Elimination Chamber. I'm sat here in the UK watching it, and I felt that.
I think she will get
that
MPV.
Oh, easy. I mean, Slammy Awards, easy.
Yeah.
But you see the bruise.
The next day. And the thing is, though, she was
not even the next day, there and then.
Yeah.
In the match.
No, I mean, when I saw her on SmackDown or Raw the following night or whatever, she was back to work, probably in pain, but no, she was fine. Tough little cookie.
I mean, that's a good spot that Bianca Belair uses, the whip of the hair, but that was next level stuff.
Yeah, just a little bit.
That or a Gunther chop. Which one do you take in?
Neither. I'll be honest with you.
Whack on that.
1, 2, 3, hang on, 4, 5. So far, they've only put 5 matches so far, apparently. So it's the Undisputed Championship, which is Cena, Cody Rhodes. Triple threat match, Roman Reigns.
Well, we got the other title. We've got the US title, the IC title, tag title.
You know why? Because they're still to be decided. They've still got their matches to happen on SmackDown, even though we all know what's going to be the result.
I mean, the fact that Io Sky won the world title when she did, so close to Mania, was a bit of a shock for me.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But good on her. I like it.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. I thought it was great just to throw a curveball everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't expecting that to happen because run up to WrestleMania, you don't want to tilt the boat too much and show your hand early.
Yeah.
But the fact that they threw that in, you're like, okay, that changes what the hell was going to happen then.
Yeah, tell me about it. And the fact that, it comes down to Rhea has never beat Io. So, I mean, even the match gone, they couldn't have either of them get pinned, so it had to be a double DQ. Yeah, no, so it leaves it wide open.
It's always good that if someone has the... Just move the jacket over there. Always good if someone has that sort of Moby Dick, that white whale.
Yeah.
That person that just has their number for some reason.
I mean, even at Mania, if Bianca does win the title, it will be, obviously, I reckon she'll probably pin Io, but it won't be Rhea pinning Io. So because I'm not sure if they'll give it back to Rhea because I don't know if they want to start a feud again.
Not just that, I think they need to do something fresh with Rhea. Maybe move her away from the title picture for a while. She doesn't. I mean, she's that over at the moment. She doesn't really need it.
Yeah.
They can maybe move her away from the title picture for a while. Have her do other things. Maybe, as you say, have a feud with Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Rodriguez.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting.
Because she can go back and go, right, well, you're the cause of all this because you're the cause of all this, and go after Liv Morgan and Rochelle Rodriguez.
The only trouble, though, the Rhea Liv thing has been done to death.
No, that's what maybe she'd go after Rodriguez instead. But as I say, they need to do something fresh with Rhea.
Yeah.
I think, at least in my humble opinion, I think they need to do something. She doesn't need the world title. It's great that it's on her and she can carry that ball easily. But as I say, I think just before they take it off of her, just before people are maybe like, well, it's too still. She's always champion. It's always have to do something different with her maybe.
What do you think about a random idea that I've got? Them bringing back, because they tour in Europe a lot now. Bring back the European title.
Maybe. Well, they could maybe. I mean, the UK title kind of got retired with kind of joined with the NXT World Title when Gunther.
Really?
When he was still Walter, because he had the NXT UK title.
Yeah.
Came to main NXT, won that title. Well, yeah. I'm just.
Fair enough.
But
I just, because it's something that hit me the other night. Why not? They're doing all these tours where they're going more around the world. I mean, they want to start doing pay-per-views in India as well.
Yeah.
So why not have
a European title? Not a bad idea.
Or even an international title, rather than European.
That's the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, true.
See, what they did, how long ago was this now? About 10, maybe 15 years ago, where they unified the world title.
Yeah.
So there was one belt.
See, that's what's needed.
I think they need to do, well, not just that, not just one
They
belt.
They need to do it with the tag titles, is what they need to do.
Do with the tag titles. I think they should combine the IC and the US title. I know I'm going to get slandered for that because both have got lots of history behind them. But combine the two into one belt. And that, as you say, is what you take when you're touring. Have that belt on.
Yeah.
Instead of that, so when they go to do Jewel of the Crown, instead of that stupid title belt, which, you win this, but you can't.
It doesn't leave the. Yeah, it doesn't leave Dubai
it.
or wherever it is.
Have this.
Sorry, not Dubai, Saudi. My apologies.
Have it. Call it a pay-per-view belt, whatever you want to, almost like a new version of TV belt.
Oh, instead of
a new version of a TV championship.
They got them rings, didn't they?
Yes. Yeah, have a PV belt, PPV pay-per-view belt.
It's not even pay-per-view anymore, is it? It's PLE.
Oh, sorry, PLE belt.
So, I mean, no, I just thought European title. It's been there once, and it had plenty of people holding it. You know, it's fought for quite a lot. Triple H held it, William Regal held it. D'Lo, Kane, so many people held that championship. Yeah. So why not bring it back? I mean, the roster's big enough to bring it back. They've just introduced. I mean, the fact that they've introduced two titles: the Intercontinental Championship for the women, as well as the US title for the women. That really just ain't.
No, that I don't mind because
properly.
They did need a. No, they're not getting pushed properly. That I agree with you. But sorry, sure. That I agree with you. But they did need a. I don't want to say mid-card belt, but they needed a second belt, a secondary belt, for people who they think, right, this person could be the next.
Well, that's what the IC title was always. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but for the women, this person could be the next Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair or Bailey or whatever. We think there's something. So they could have. I know she's got a world title at the moment, but they could have gave that to Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah.
Go right. We're going to give you this. Let's see. They've given it. The person who's got it at the moment is brilliant, and I think I would like to take that move of hers.
Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah.
Is it the Irish bird?
Yeah. I would like to take that move of hers. Do you know the move I'm talking about?
That driver.
No. The head between the legs.
Oh, right. The X Factor.
No, not the X Factor.
Yeah, it's because he used to jump up and stuff.
No, not that one.
What one?
Oh.
I'm just...
She sticks her opponent's legs between... opponent's head between legs and then drives him into the mat.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I think I wouldn't mind taking that.
Oh, right. I don't get why you was whispering it, but okay.
I don't mind either, yeah. 'Cause I'm probably double her age and it's a bit pervy.
No.
I'll hold my hands up. But I think they're doing really pushing her with that IC belt at the moment, and Chelsea Green with the US belt's doing really well.
The fact that they've added someone else to her security,
yeah,
makes it interesting. Yeah. Did you know she's Actually, part of us, like, she's got family over here as well as Canada. On that, she's on that. What is it? The thing on YouTube where they try foods from England and her own country.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so she knows what Greg's food is and stuff like that.
She knows a Greg's sausage roll.
Yep. And she don't mind them.
I saw that. Did I send that on that our group chat earlier? Didn't I? That deep fried sausage roll.
Oh yeah, you did, yeah.
Because the Geordies are trying to get into the Scottish culinary market now with deep fried sausage roll.
Oh dear.
But
going back to it, yeah. The Cody and Cena promo. What's left? Because next week, what are they going to do? I mean,
they might have some sort of...
Unless Cena gets revenge, because Cody left Cena in the ring after he gave him a crossroads.
Mm.
So will Cena get revenge?
There's probably going to be a receipt. Or there's probably going to be a receipt that I would expect.
Like The Rock when he was doing the Mama Rhodes.
Yeah.
Put your blood, get your child's blood on the belt. When he beat Cody against his...
Not just that, but also so there's probably is going to be a receipt, as you say, but they could just have they used to put on like some sort of they put like a tag match or something on before like the
dark match,
like Raw before WrestleMania or the SmackDown.
Dark match.
Not even not a dark match. They just say on the SmackDown before WrestleMania.
Right, yeah.
They just put on Cena with someone in his corner. Cody with Randy in his corner.
Oh, right.
They have a tag match that kind of really just
maybe
helps build tension. It doesn't really go anywhere, but
yeah, maybe.
As I say, and that's maybe where Cena gets his receipt.
That's one way of doing it, I suppose. I don't know if they would, but I don't know.
You know,
Time will tell.
Orton pins whoever Cena's tag team partner is. That way, neither of them get pinned.
Right.
Protecting them, kind of. And then, as I say, when Orton and Rhodes are celebrating in the ring, Cena clobbers Orton, so he's out of the way, and then gets a hold of Rhodes, F5s him, sticks in an
F5?
F5s him, double A's him, attitude adjustment.
Yeah.
Hits him with a double A, and then sticks him in the STFU.
Yeah, I could see that, and just don't let go.
Yeah, until he passes out, basically, and then he just stands there in the ring, and that's the end.
Or he just rolls out. Yeah, I can see what you mean.
That's the end of the match. End of the show, and then
I just don't get why at the end, because it's been a month since the Elimination Chamber and since Cena turned heel, but we haven't seen or heard anything from The Rock.
No, which
is a mistake.
Yeah, I would have had The Rock turn up at least once or twice between then and now.
And like what, they're going to do it 1 week before Mania? He turns up. It's like they did last year.
Yeah, no. I think with Cena though, I get the whole heel turn, but the fact that he's still wearing his
original,
jean shorts, he should have maybe just changed that slightly, worn something slightly different. So it's still John Cena, but it's not. Someone said he should have come in back in his old
Doctor of Thugonomics gear.
No, his old what was his? He even said it is the prototype. His old prototype shorts.
Oh right.
Yeah, the ones who turn up with the red and white ones, just turn up in them, or turn up in regular wrestling gear, like black tights, black boots.
But then he went on in the promo, wasn't it? And he said to the audience, "You don't deserve for me to change. Why am I going to change?
Yeah, that's good.
You don't deserve it."
Yeah, that's good.
Proper played up the crowd, didn't he? So, all right, yeah. So we'll find out on Friday exactly what happens, and what we'll do. I'll do a podcast after SmackDown on Friday, 'cause they're back in America.
Right.
So it'll be early hours of the morning, Jobby. So I'll do one then. And then what we can do is see. I don't watch it.
As I say, I've watched bits and pieces of it. My 2 cents on the whole Moxley suplex onto that Spike 2x4.
Oh, right, yeah, come on.
And I've told you this already. It's fine that they did that spot, don't have a problem with the spot. It's where they did it. It shouldn't have been on a regular TV episode. It should have been at a pay-per-view.
Yep.
To finish a storyline, to finish the storyline between Copeland or Cope and Moxley, and it should have been the move that finished the match.
Oh, I think
it should have been the move that finished the match.
Yes.
If you're going to do that sort of spot, that's that graphic.
Yeah, you don't have him winning.
No, it should have been.
Sorry, no, that was just stupid, beyond stupid.
They could have had him lose the match, which I think everyone would have been fine with. They could have had him lose the match, and then have Wheeler Yuta come down, clobber Cope, and then try and pull the spikes out.
Maybe that was the original idea. If the spikes didn't get stuck in his back like they did, but
in his spine probably.
Well, here's the problem with that, right? Is the fact that them nails did not look sterile. They looked very rusty. They bent, so you don't know if parts of metal were flaked off into his back. This is where Moxley's a bleeding moron, right? For taking that. Now I know he wants to go back to his what was it?
Combat Zone
XWA, his CZW days and all that. But doing stuff like this, there is risk of infection. There's risk of staph infection. He could end up crippled. Why? Yeah. Oh, in fact, in front of 2,000 people, this was, by the way, right? So it's not even a lot of people. I wanted to take a bump that positively could ruin me for the rest of my life. I could be in agony from it because that infection would really, really hurt.
Well, not just that, as I say,
and his popularity level has just gone.
With me, it's not the fact that he took that sort of bump. Fine, I've seen worse. I've seen way worse on the indie scene in Japan.
But they're not on the indies.
No, but as I say, I've seen that the worst, much worse. We've watched worse. We've watched the IWA 1995 Deathmatch tournament, which I'm sorry, but
he's legendary.
What's his face? Little Gauge bloke.
Right.
You know what I mean? Little baldy fella. I can't remember his name. Thinks he's hardcore, but you put him in a ring against, in his prime, Mick or New Jack, he'd die.
Wasn't Bruiser Brody part of that death match as well?
I don't think Bruiser Brody wasn't part of that death match.
No?
No.
He passed away by then, do you think?
Not sure. 95, possibly.
I think he did,
But anyway, it's not the fact that they did that spot, as I say. It's the fact that they did it, as you say, in a regular show, 2,000 people.
Yeah, a stupid auditorium.
If they'd done it at a big show like they had at Wembley.
Oh, yeah, different.
And it was as I say, end of a storyline, it finished the match, absolutely makes sense to me. Perfect. Yeah, not a problem with that. It's the fact that they've done it in front of 2,000 people for what? Didn't even end the match. I mean, come on. I know we're sounding a bit like Jim Cornette there, but I agree with him on this.
I agree with Cornette 100%. And
there was no need for it to be there. If it was you do stuff like that to finish off a storyline.
That's just, as they call it, like stupid mud show crap. The fact that he did it, and the fact that the board that they used to do it all, as I said again with the nails, is just wrong. Instead, use something else. You did not need to use
something with a bit more give. Even if they'd just done a barbed wire 2x4, that would have.
Exactly.
It still sucks, but it's got more give than those nails. Because the barbed wire would bend a little. Yeah, it'd still go in. It would still
exactly.
Suck.
It still looked good, but it wouldn't do as much damage. Especially
even if they did it, put it on fire. He's only on it for a second.
Exactly, but no. Instead, they have to go.
There's ways they could have done that spot without those nails. They, as I say, barbed wire, turn it on fire.
Yeah.
Put it on fire, then suplex him. He hits it, the flames go out as he hits, he rolls off.
Yeah.
And that would look, that's a.
But the fact to have him land on that back with nails in it, and then be immobile for a minute because Wheeler Yuta and the referee are trying to pull it out of him. Then
I bet his missus wasn't impressed.
For Wheeler Yuta to go out, and then for Wheeler Yuta to get powerbombed through a table by Copeland.
Yeah.
And then for Copeland to roll in and still lose. I'm sorry, that's the worst booking. It's a terrible match. It shouldn't have happened. It was just a pile of dog shit from start to finish. Sorry, they had their match a few weeks before. It should have just ended there. There was no need for this match.
I've only watched bits and pieces of it. I caught that because it was everywhere.
Yeah.
So I went back and watched the match, and a lot of it was like, why did they finish it 5-10 minutes down the line? Why not finish it there? He takes the suplex.
And the thing is, the minute
really get
the
pinned.
part that got me, why the minute after he landed and he sat up and that bat was stuck in his back, why wasn't any medical staff down that ring? You could see on the monitor that was stuck in his back. Why wasn't a doctor sent out?
Yeah, I know Wheeler Yuta was meant to be there as part of what happened afterwards, but yeah,
it's just that's just Tony Khan for you. That comes down to the owner then, as well as the wrestler.
But that's the thing with AEW's a little bit suffering what I think ECW suffered with as well. So I always thought ECW would have succeeded more, and I'm a huge ECW fan, if they left some of the more extreme stuff that they were known for to the pay-per-views. And I think that's what the network, one of either TNN or USA Network, was trying to get them to do as well. Say, look, we love the product, the great wrestling, the great storylines.
Yeah.
Yes, have some flashes of the extreme, but leave the proper nasty stuff to the pay-per-views.
You want about like the Terry Funk, Sabu?
Well, not just that, just any of it.
All right.
The Raven pinned.
Oh yeah, that
pinned
was
to
wrong.
the cage.
Yeah.
And caned several times by Tommy Dreamer. Yes, the barely legal match, but that was a pay-per-view. At least that way they could turn around and went, well, it's a pay-per-view. People had to buy to watch this.
Yeah.
So if they're buying it, they know exactly what they're getting.
No, yeah.
Whereas with the TV, you've got, obviously, over there they've got the FCC, the censors.
Yeah.
And over here, we had it on at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. You were home after the pub, you'd had a skinful, you didn't care.
Yeah, he was eating a pizza.
You didn't care. And, that's why it got around the censors here in the UK. But it's as I say, you put that stuff on the Beulah McGillicuddy ref. What's his name? The ref. Bill
Alfonso,
the whistle guy.
Yeah, they had a match.
They had a match. Bill Alfonso bled like a stuck pig.
Oh no.
But that's. I mean, she wins. She beats the living crap out. But when he puts his hands on her, obviously people are like, "Ooh, a man putting his hands on a woman," quite rightly. But you put that on a pay-per-view, not on the
you don't do it on TV.
I think that's what, as I say, that's what the network were trying to get ECW to do. Like, let's save the really hardcore stuff that we're known for the pay-per-views. So at least that way we can go, well, they bought it. We can kind of give you a bit of protection, and I think AEW is trying to get more sensational. Hence why they do those sorts of spots, and the Darby Allin spots, a lot of which aren't needed. That dive off of that huge ladder through the glass, through the chairs,
which was not needed.
It kind of wiped him out of the rest of the match, but
it was just not needed.
No, and it was actual glass as well. I think because his back just went. Yeah, they could have used sugar glass. Hollywood used it for years. Get a bottle of. It's fine, but it's again. But I think that was on a pay-per-view, so I'll give them that.
That was Sting's last match.
Yeah, but it was. But that's it was on a pay-per-view as well. So yes, okay, great, fine, big spot. Match.
No, but even then, it didn't need it because the person who he rolled onto the glass wasn't there. The time he got up on top turnbuckle, turned round, the person was near enough at the ring apron, he still dived through the glass.
Yeah, why would you do that? Why would you? Oh, he's over there. I'm going to jump anyway. Why?
Darby Allin in 10 years in a wheelchair, like Stephen Hawking. I went through glass. That's going to be Darby Allin. Unfortunately, there's his future in a wheelchair. Did you have fun, Darby? Now that you can't, you got piss in a bag. Yeah. See, things like that, just silly moves for no reason.
Was daft that there was no one there.
There was no call for it.
If the person who moved at the last second, yeah, okay, fair enough. But the fact that he'd moved 5 minutes before.
Yes. And,
That's either the fault of the guy who was there going, oh, hang on, he's not quite up there, right? I need to wait. Right, he's going now, and then roll off.
Exactly, you time it. Everything is timing. So as he's jumping, that's when you roll.
Yeah, that's when you get out there.
Yeah, no, not. He's climbing up. Oh, he's on the second turn back. Oh, I'm going to get off and go and stand at the ring.
I'm going to get a view for this.
Wanker. Do you know what I mean? That's what it's like. It's stupid. But hey, I'm happy. What we'll do, we'll leave it there for tonight. And if you want, next time you get some free time, I'm not sure when.
Well, I'm off tomorrow, but Tuesday, maybe.
All right, well, if you Tuesday, we'll do a Raw recap.
I can do. I'll watch Raw Tuesday morning.
Okie dokie, we can do that. Also, we've still got to do your customer service.
Yeah, we'll do that the weekend after, because I'm off that weekend after.
Right, yep. I hope so, guys. If you want to tune in for that one, it will be Michael, who's worked on customer services for 20 years, give or take.
Yeah, 20ish.
So he'll be answering questions. I mean, I'll put a lot to him, but I'm sure you have your own as well.
I've literally, I've already sent it to you.
Yeah, so what he can put to you, just to make your customer service experience when you phone up for
easier.
Yeah, for various things a lot easier.
And maybe some stuff you didn't know.
There you go.
So, because, what's his name? He's the bane of customer service.
He's the bane of customer. Okay.
I don't like him, but Martin, what's his face? He's fine, but Martin does all the money shows.
Lewis?
Yeah, Martin Lewis.
Ah, right, okay.
The man who, people seem to forget this, told the entire country to commit insurance fraud. And then the week after had to come out and go, don't do that. I'll explain that more in the day. He told the entire, it's there to see. He told the entire country to commit car insurance fraud.
Right, okay. Well, yeah, so we've got that coming up as well. And on top of that, you'll have me doing my own stories from various jobs in my life, and I've got plenty of comical stories that you're going to love. So the next one, I think I'm just going to entitle it A Washout, because it was during when I was working for an events company and things got a bit wet. So I'll leave it there and I'll let you know once that one's uploaded. So right, guys, remember, like and subscribe, all that usual crap. And I'll catch you on the next podcast.
Bye.